Thanks, Valentina. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve McCormick, an adaptive consultant here at The Groove. The first feature I'd like to talk about is Adaptive Planning Hubs. It's a new enhancement focused on the user experience. It can be set up as an organized and intuitive workspace for users to navigate and interact with a collection of sheets, reports, dashboards, and other uh, items relevant to the job that they need to accomplish for us. And also, it provides key instructions and their workflow tasks. So, if we think about where we are currently with Adaptive, we have announcements, an announcements page, HTML setup. So, people kind of got away from announcements. And over the last several releases, Workday has been introducing additional functionality to dashboards, text for comments. So if we set up a dashboard for a planning process, we could put instructions in a text box. Then they introduce sheets into dashboards, and along with sheets came report links and in reports. So we've expanded dashboards to be kind of a process flow, if you will, for a way to interact with Adaptive. But now they've created hubs, which is a much cleaner process of interacting with adaptive and the user experience in adaptive. So now I don't need to worry about the global navigation menu. Do I go to reports, go to sheets? Do we still have announcements, which is kind of really legacy at this point in terms of getting to that information? And it also provides for collaboration with comments on a dashboard widget or any other page type with user tagging and data filter alignment, or kind of saying it's based on the view that I'm looking at here. I can see comments, contextual comments on my view. Administrators can create and share hubs by functions. We could have a hub that sells finance operations, or it's by process. This is my annual budget or quarterly forecast. And it's the uh, sheets and the reports that are most relevant for those tasks in our users to accomplish. Okay. Administrators can set this up as the home page. So as a user logs in, what they see is their hub, and they don't need to go to global navigation to get to anywhere else. Setup for this is, in my opinion, just fairly simple. It's automatically available uh, with no setup required, other than defining what you want your hubs to be. Is it a sales? Is it operations? Is it budgeting or forecasting? And it is fairly intuitive to set up. So I've got the level of effort somewhat low here. Don't want to talk about user experience without taking a look at it. So on the next slide, we have what it can look like. So what we have here is an example of a revenue planning hub. We can see there's an overview with an AI summary. It can be a text box saying this is the way we want you to go through the process of revenue planning. It can be an AI summary here. You can see the tasks or actions are also available to us on the bottom half of the screen. And even if you have responsibility for integrations, you can see at the bottom the tasks that are running. Then we know that those tasks have been completed. So I don't need to go global navigation, manage integrations to see if my integrations are running or have completed or have them notify me. As I come into Adaptive, I could have this as my home page, and all of this information is available to me on my home page. Again, kind of the user experience is greatly improved in terms of whether you've used announcement pages. And I know those have really kind of been legacied from a lot of what I've seen in terms of use. And process is a process tracker, some uptake, but not a broad uptake in terms of user experience. And then of late, all the improvements, or I should say enhancements to the dashboard and ways of navigating our users through a budget process. So with all of that now in hubs, it is a much cleaner and easier process for our users. If we can advance one more tab, the other feature I really, really like here is the contextual comments. So based on my level and anything else, my version and level, the context in my sheet here, I can see comments that are related to that same context and have communication or collaboration with additional users. Okay, if we go to the next tab. The next thing is really, really nice, and they have additional features coming out through future releases. It's configurable workflows. It's a new framework to design and execute planning cycles, replacing both the workflows and process tracker. It uses a graphical builder. Administrators can create reusable workflow definitions and assign tasks to users, groups, and associations, and manage the entire life cycle within hubs. It provides the guided user navigation that we saw in processes or process tracker with notification and real-time status monitoring. And it kind of improves the overall governance by enforcing strict data locking on submission and approval. One really nice feature here is if you do currently use processes, you know, or workflow, excuse me, you may have users unintentionally lock themselves out. Uh, they've gone through revenue planning, so they've done their revenue planning sheet, and they said, "Well, I'm done, so I'll submit, but I haven't done OpEx and I haven't done capital or any of the other items related to my levels." Well, you've locked yourself out if you submit just when you've finished your revenue piece. What we can do now is we can do sheet scoping. So on my task, once I've completed revenue, I can say I'm done with revenue, submit it, it can be approved, and I'm locked out of revenue in that sheet, but I'm not locked out of all levels like it had been currently, and not able to do my OpEx or my capital or other items that have the levels that I'm working with. So it's really nice. I can sheet scope in terms of locking the data. Okay. Excuse me. Uh, Also, kind of familiar with Process Tracker is the planning progress. It's been improved with detailed monitoring and audit logs. Can help identify where people are and what may be bottlenecks, what's slowing people down, or who's not quite getting to the point where we need to be. They need to be in our process here. Uh, Again, it's kind of a, as I mentioned, the user interface from an administrative standpoint is drag and drop. So I put it as a kind of as a low level of effort. It's something you could go into and look and add and do some testing in, but it's drag and drop. What are my to-dos? Do I have submissions? Do I have approvals? And we can have multiple layers of approval now, also within this. And on the next slide, we just have a visual of it. Again, you can kind of see this is the configuring of a workflow here. What are our to-do tasks? I want to take a look at a report. I need to submit my projections. There's a first layer of approvals by the project estimators, and then finance needs to approve it and then finalize the process. Okay, so it's very configurable based on levels and the to-do tasks. And again, if we log down the data, it can be logged down by sheet, no longer by all levels, locking us out of additional steps we may need to take. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Next thing here I want to talk about is the planning agent. Uh, Available in this release, it's the AI assistant that enables users to interact with adaptive data. The first available skill is data exploration, which uses generative and conversational AI to provide contextual analysis and insights on open matrix reports. So it works with matrix reports at this point. Natural language prompts or guided questions like summarize this report, detect anomalies, or otherwise any other questions to help us with perform variance analysis as well. So it's an AI tool uh, using open matrix reports, and this feature can help you reduce identifying variances, root causes, and trends within the data with responses that include a narrative summary, charts and tables with the ability to change the chart type that it's providing. And like within dashboards, you can hover over charts and see the data points for more detail. And it could also really nice help streamline the creation of presentations outside of Adaptive by downloading summaries and visualizations into PowerPoint presentations. So it's a really nice feature. The one thing is that you wouldn't need to put in a Workday customer uh, request ticket to have this enabled, and it does use flex credits. Again, it's a really nice feature, very intuitive and rolled out, but you wouldn't need to put in a ticket to get this set up, and then it is used with flex credits. Okay, we can move on to the next one. Our last slide here is model sheet enhancements, two things that are really nice, especially if you're using workforce planning or personnel planning. You can do access rules and can now be set up on data entry columns and model sheets. So it provides for safeguarding sensitive data within a single modeled sheet, eliminating the need to duplicate the sheets. So currently you may have a personnel sheet that has certain private type of personnel details in it, and we've had to eliminate or put that into a sheet where we've assigned access rules to the sheet. We can now define on the data entry columns access rules so we can have a single sheet with all of our workers in it and say, well, for the intersection of this worker or this level, I want to apply access rules to either a number, date, text, or checkbox column within the model sheet. Okay, so I have a single model sheet and I can apply access rules, access rules being editability, full view, limited view, or no view based on the intersection that I define in access rules. And that access rule could be position, could be level, could be worker, and make sure that someone should doesn't see the data we don't want them to be able to see. So it's a big win for our workforce planning perspective. Again, it's out of the box ready in R1, and just a matter of setting up your access rules uh, to control the view of certain data in that regard.